Hello, and welcome to Queen's Crafts by Bridget. I'm Bridget. Thank you for joining me today. Whether you're new here or you've been around since the very beginning, I truly appreciate you coming by and spending your time with me. If you're looking for me anywhere else on the internet, you can find me at my socials, which are Instagram and Facebook. Facebook, I do have a group. You're more than welcome to join. Just a few simple questions and agreeing to the rules, and I'll let you right in. I do insist that you answer the questions just to make sure that it's not a bot trying to get in. I have had that happen a few different times, and I'm trying to keep it a fun and wonderful place for everyone to be without all the nonsense. Also, I have an email address, which is queenscraftsbybridget@yahoo.com, and a website where you can find my bags and yarn at queenscraftsbybridget.com. Now, today, I don't have any cauldron names for you, but if you're wondering what the cauldron names are, it's simply this little cookie jar right here. Every single video, I take 3 comments from the comment section once they've had some time to be up and you've had time to watch them. And those people go into the cookie jar. And at the beginning of the month, I choose a winner, and that winner takes home a random box of yarn, sometimes a bag that I made, or something I've made by hand. I believe this month we're probably going to do a bag. It's just a little simpler for me to ship out. But today, we are here for a special reason because my friend Mel over at Lithalia's Little Hook decided to tag me in a video. So I'm here to answer that tag and, of course, tag a few others, because if I have to play along with the fun, so do a few of my friends. Of course, they don't have to do so. There's no one out here saying that you must do these things. But if you feel like participating and I tagged you, or I didn't tag you and you still feel like participating anyways, please feel free to do so. I will have all the questions in the description box for your convenience. Now, I did watch Mel's video, but because of my short-term memory issues, I have no idea what these questions are. I've printed them off, and we're going to go through them together. So, there are 12 questions. I do not remember exactly who came up with this. So, if you want to know or need to know, please head over to Lithalia Little Hook Melanie, and she will have it in her thing somewhere, or she'll tell you in the video. I remember her saying it, but I don't remember who she said. I'm very sorry. If you were stranded for hours in a car in the middle of the world's biggest traffic jam, and you had just in case wool, otherwise yarn, and one set of needles, either straight or circular, one hook, no pattern, no scissors, no tapestry needle, what would you knit or crochet? Something wearable. I always have yarn with me. Every time I leave the house, I have a knitting project with me. Most of the times when I leave the house, I also have a crochet project with me. My knitting project stays in my bag, and I work on it whenever I can. Crochet. Now, if it was just the one thing that I could do, I would probably work on a wearable. And if I needed the yarn to be broke, I would simply break the yarn. I know, what a taboo instead of cutting, but in an emergency or in a situation where you have nothing to cut it with, breaking the yarn is perfectly acceptable. Or, I've always got some kind of implement that I can use to get the yarn to break. But I would make a wearable. That's what I like to do the best. Okay. What would you do if you didn't have your just-in-case wool? What would you try to do instead? Well, that'll never happen. But if it did, I would spend time either talking to the king or listening to an audiobook, probably. Did you teach anyone else how to knit or crochet? I have attempted to teach my nephew and my niece to crochet. I have attempted to teach the king to crochet. I'm hoping at some time we can sit down and actually work on that again, because I believe that he could really be good at it if I had the patience to work with him the way that he needs. I need to get some videos made so that he can follow the videos, because he is left-handed predominantly, but can do things right-handed. So we're trying to figure out yet if he's going to crochet or knit or crochet with left or right hand. But at this time, he's really busy in school and work, so crocheting really hasn't been a priority. Now, I have taught a few people how to knit socks. So a few of them had never knit before, and they decided to pick up my pattern and some needles, or my tutorial and some needles, and they have made socks. I'm very, very proud of that fact. Say number 4, what is the most rewarding part of knitting or crochet? Wearing the finished object, if it's a make for me. Otherwise, seeing the look on the person's face that receives what I've made, that is just absolutely priceless. Let's see. Number 5 is, what would you make next if you had unlimited wool? Mine is under the sea cow blanket. Okay. That's not mine. That's what it says. Sorry, I shouldn't have read that part. But what would you do if you had an unlimited amount of wool or yarn? Make every wearable I could think of. That's what I would do, because that's what I like to do. Otherwise, maybe make some amigurumis. I also really like to make amigurumi. Number 6, what was your most difficult thing to learn with knitting or crochet? I think in the beginning, I struggled the hardest with reading a pattern. But once I found that I could follow a tutorial that also had a written pattern, and I picked it up that way, it wasn't so hard at all. Probably the second hardest thing was learning to embrace my confidence, to know that I can make it. And if I make a mistake, there's nothing wrong with that. All I have to do is pull it out and try again. That's probably the most important lesson. Number 7, first thing you ever knit or crochet. The first thing I ever crocheted was essentially a belt for the door that contains some bells on it, so that my dogs can go up and slap the bells and let me know that they need to go outside and go potty, rather than barking their heads off at me. It works a little bit better with the King swing shift to not have them barking throughout the house, and having still a sign that they need to go out. The first thing I ever knit was a Ross hat. Number 8, strangest place you have ever knit or crochet. Well, I'm going to take one from Mel's playbook here, because my answer is very much the same as hers, in the bathtub. I have taken my bath, nice long bubble bath, and minus the bubbles for me. More like candles, hot water, a ball of yarn, and a hook, just to relax and enjoy myself. Otherwise, probably in the recovery room of the hospital, or the pre-surgical room of the hospital. And it wasn't strange for me. I just got a lot of strange looks. But it does help with my social anxiety to keep my hands and mind occupied with a knitting or crocheting project. So when I'm in a high stress situation, I generally have a project with me so that I don't get too overworked. Favorite thing to make for me, that is definitely wearables, followed by amigurumi. And favorite yarn or wool. My favorite yarn is hands down what I have spun myself. Very closely followed by any wool yarn, any natural fiber yarn that does not require chemicals to get the fibers to a spinnable state. Bamboo is very nice, but I do not like all the chemicals it takes to make it. along with many of the other plant fibers, it does require quite a few chemicals, and that's just not my bag. They are very nice fibers, very nice yarns, but it kind of breaks my heart that so much chemicals is being put into the world to make them, where wool and cotton really only requires some water to wash and then to spin. So that makes it better in my eyes. Where is your favorite place to buy yarn or wool? Well, if I'm going to buy yarn, generally I buy undyed yarn, and I like to get it from Knit Picks, but there are a few other places that I really enjoy getting yarn from. Otherwise, I prefer to get my undyed roving at shipswool.com, and I get quite a few pounds at a time, and then I dye it up and spin it to my liking, which of course it makes it all that much better. And is there anything about your hobby, knitting or crocheting, that completely stumps you? Thankfully, no. I've got a pretty good handle on the crafts. It is the one area in life that I have not had to struggle extremely hard for. Coming up as a kid and in my younger days, I struggled with everything. There were things that I could do, but I had to work hard at them. And with knitting and crochet, it's as easy as breathing. And I'm very, very thankful for that. There are still many things that I would like to learn to do, such as I have not yet knit myself a cardigan. That is on my bucket list of things to do. But you know that around here, we are very, very busy doing all the things. So I haven't had time to sit down and get that done yet. I hope that you have enjoyed hearing my answers to these questions. If I do not tag you and you want to do them, please feel free to do so. And go over and check out Mel over at Lethalia's Little Hook. I will have her link down in the description box below. So the three ladies that I am going to tag is going to be Camille's Creations, Lori's Stories and Crochet, and Katie's Been Yarnified. If you ladies would like to answer these questions, please do so, and I would love to hear the answers. Until next time, I truly hope that you are crafting your happiness, and bye for now.